Hello. I was invited to give a talk on in the Congress, on the 23rd Congress of Transpersonal Psychology. And the theme that was accepted was the potential of expanded states of consciousness in the transpersonal psychotherapy induced by hypnosis. It's a theme that interests me since a long time, and I am quite acquainted with the issues I'm going to deal. Now then, I prepared a little PPT for my talk. Just a moment. There we have it, and I put it in plain screen. Let us see if it works. Okay, it's working. Then I must say that hypnosis has a very long story. It just began in the ancient temples of Greece and Egypt, where the people were looking for their healing during their sleep. And so sleep has something to do with an altered state of consciousness, as hypnosis does. We are very far away from the times of Mesmer, as you see here represented. Now, we know that hypnosis and the way we use it in our treatment, in our psychotherapies, are very similar to a kind of somnolence, a twilight state between the being awake and the stage one of sleep. We have now new definitions since some years, in 2015, that was put out with from the upper division 30. Hypnosis is a state of consciousness with a full attention and a peripheral perception characterized by an enhanced ability to respond to suggestions. A lot of books are coming dealing with these issues, not only altering consciousness with the multidisciplinary perspectives, but as well dealing with some anomalous experiences, as I'm going to talk here. Even there is a paper from 2009 from Amnon Zahi that just tried to bring together spiritual transpersonal hypnosis. Of course, a lot of people are looking for what's new. Is there something substantial to hypnosis? A lot of studies. And with this book here in the right, it's a really big, wonderful treatise on the subject, where one puts together healing and intention in a new kind of medicine. And of course, it was used from Lekovsky, putting even the title in his book, Transpersonal Hypnosis. What is then an extended state of consciousness, an exceptional human experience? So you can look here very fast. That really nearly always induced, can change life, but it needs to be integrated in a psychotherapy because this is a kind of phenomena that are commonly accepted explanation that contradict what's going on in this kind of phenomenology. And to bring you here what I consider the oldest cartography of consciousness that you recognize, those that practice yoga, the world one, what we get from the perception around us. This is the world of our thoughts that only come out if we talk about them. And this is the very narrow world of dreams that are very hard to come out. And of course, there are here a veil, giving a kind of distant separation between all these worlds and the fourth world. So one must say, beyond the veil, we attain the fourth field, the fourth paradigm. That is where we are going to be. Okay, let's begin. Memories of a positive future. Under hypnosis, one can make a time travel, as indicated by G. Wells, but using now some kind of theory and knowledge that we got from shamanism and modern science, medicine, using imagery in healing. Then we created an avatar, an alter ego that is more and better than we are, and we transport it to the future that is acquainted then by the imagination, the friends, the family, where we can realize and even look for a better world, looking for a door where is light. And of course, we can really bring like a kind of, let us say, Heimweh in Germany, a kind of sorrow and wish for the future we are looking for. Peak experience. Peak experience are obtained, of course, during some kinds of meditation, during any kind of working in spirituality. And what is then considered to be a peak experience? There is a kind of an ineffability. So we cannot even sometimes use words to talk about it. We have a kind of sense of sacredness, of the divine, of character of this experience. And of course, one transcends time and space. It's like one is living in an eternal now. We see it in public audiences like in Medjugorje or Edgar Avandal, but as well represented in statues that we look for this kind of special peak experiences. And of course, there are some support for it, as Marie Beauregard studied some nuns where they imagined to be in contact with God, and even described that it was quite different, the mystical baseline concerning fMRI and the baseline. So there is support for being instructed to be and living in an altered state of consciousness, this kind of mystical experience. Some say, and even Stanley Grof represents it, that psychosis at the beginning is as well an altered state of consciousness like the spiritual emergence. But one drowns because it was not prepared, and the other is just enjoying his state, but in the same waters. Near-death experiences. We heard sometimes in our practice people that passes through different difficulties like trying suicide or being drowned, and one tells us what's going on in this near-death experience. One sees oneself out of the body, then there is a tunnel when one goes by, and then one encounters the light, then comes back. This is really some kind of wonderful experience that is sometimes change the values and the attitudes afterwards. It's not new, since Hieronymus Bosch just presented this marvelous painting, represented it in the Renaissance. So it's not new, and probably he has his own experience or someone told him about it. And where are we when we are, let us say, provoking, inducing kind of this experience? It's a kind of internal awareness. One is awake, and there is a kind of connectedness, as you see here. So we are inducing a near-death-like experience, quite similar as the near-death experience, and it is possible to put it on in a kind of a meeting as in a congress. Paranormal phenomenology. We are very, very far away from the beginning using the 10 cards when one tries to give to the other without what saying, just through thought, what one is pointing and the other should guess. Now we bring these experiments to the laboratory when one really tries and shows that it is possible to transmit their thoughts through telepathy or look in the future. We can call it clairvoyance, or see what's happening far, far away from here. Some say that they could bring it as well to psychokinesis using or under altered state of consciousness. This part here, I think I never read about it. Anyway, some books try to bring it in to the point. A book, a film, a movie that talks about it, and it was a success some years ago, was the movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise, where some people in altered state of consciousness who are trying to guess the future, and then we could call it precognition. It is possible using hypnosis to bring some kind of these issues to the practice. And there are some experiments supporting the hypothesis of successive rebirths, what we can call memory regression. And then memory regression, of course, one can come to some months before, years, dozens of years, or even to our childhood, or even coming even back in the time to the point, to the moment of being in the womb, or just the spermatozoid entering the ovule. There are some experiments, some observations that really support this. And the book from Ian Stevenson shows that something happens when one is born. There are biology signs that are impossible to be born like this, and he studied it very deep, and he even himself, without saying that it's really, he believes when he was asked, he says only that the physical marks present a strong evidence when someone asked him, Diane, do you believe in reincarnation? It's not up to the therapist to look for explanations. The therapeutic value of the experience does not depend on the theoretical explanation. That is very important to note. And now, another issue that I'm practicing as well in my private consultations is that people sometimes want to be sure that the departed one is in a good way, and they want to say something that they didn't have time to say, and then we can do it in our practice. Then I explained that we are not connecting the people that is departed, we are connecting an imago. An imago is an idealized mental image of a person or the self, the way one should talk to the person we imagine, how that person should answer, should interact with us. And this way of interacting with that imago, its hypnosis is the door to get it. Then, in conclusion, I would say it seems we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Because, as Saint-Exupéry puts, on ne voit bien qu'avec le cœur, l'essentiel étant visible pour les yeux. Then, is there a kind of sensitive interactions, or is this an impossible object to get it through hypnosis? Because we do not see it like it is. Probably this is only can be seen with the heart, as Saint-Exupéry said. We are really having in hands an impossible object, or no? When you use hypnosis, everything gets smooth, and the object can be represented and even built. Then I would say, live the life you have imagined. And I end my talk with a quotation from Galileo Galilei, "Et pour si moi." Thank you for your attention, and I hope that you enjoyed this small talk, and that you are going to learn more, try, or having any other questions. Thank you very much for being with me here during the talk.